Okay, this is just a quick how you're going to start measuring. Just think of this as a simple system. Look at your part that you have and pick one of the best icons that matches up to it. And that's really how this measurement system works. So you have, first of all, you have 3 camera systems. You got large, small, and a medium. There's up on the glass. You can see there's a large area, a small, and a medium field. So this, in the medium field, we have this part right here. So we just put that part in there. This one's like a single core measurement, looks like, and one wall. Just push this button, take a measurement. It's going to take thousands and thousands of measurements, but it's going to give you what you want. It's going to give you the wall thickness average, all the single axis, all the individual wall measurements. This is doing is giving you the mid wall in 6 different locations, 60-degree quadrants. The min wall within each one is 60-degree quadrants. That's the main thing that we're looking for. And here's the min of the min. And so if you want to take that measurement, then you just print a report, and then you save it to wherever you decide you want to save it. Print, and you can save it to whatever desired location, or print to say you want to measure something with 3 walls. So I'll go ahead and move one piece off, put the other one on. If this piece was actually curled up, the sample, if it was actually really curled, you can't see it, but there's a piece of glass you put over top of it to keep it nice and flat. Move it semi in the center. Now this one, I look at it, there's 1, 2, 3 layers. So I'm going to go down to 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. I'm going to go to 3 layer with 1 core. Push that button. Take some measurement real quick. It gives you all thousands and thousands of measurements for each wall and the overall and everything else. It gives you all the information over here. You can evaluate and look at inner diameter measurements, outer diameter measurement, concentricity in your min walls and stuff like that. So go ahead and print that. We're done. It's going to give you all that information right there to print off. So I'm not going to save this one. I want to show you how, okay, in this case, we're done here. So I hit the checkbox. Say I got a piece that's over there in the small camera. This one's in the small camera. It's a pretty bad cut. I cut it just with my hand without razor blade, without the cutting device. VisioCablePro makes some really nice cutting devices, so take a look at those. You push single core measurement. Go through here. It's going to take all these measurements. This is a silicone part, piece of cable. Gives you all the measurements. Print the report. Done. Save if you want. I'm going to cancel it. So we set check marks. Done. So that's basically how you run the system. If you have custom measurements that you've created, which I'll show you later on, those are all right in here. That's where you created it. So you would select whatever part you want to measure, and then you would push this button to run any of these custom defined test plans. So we'll go over some of the other options later in the video, but that's the basics. Thank you very much. Alright, here's the Velox software. Here's your camera image viewing. You have your large, your small, and medium camera, as you can see up on top. This turns on your lighting, so it's your backlighting. That is actually a part that is in the medium-sized camera view. If you want to do front lighting, you would turn this one on. That's more for colors, looking for color variations and stuff like that. So 95% of the time you're going to have that turned off. These are canned programs. We can delete, remove, add some to this function, but this will show you a single core, a 2 core, a 3 core, 4 core, and a 5 core example of cables. And this means 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer with 1 core. So this 3 layer with 2 core, 3 layer with 3 core, etc. Here's sector cables with multiple layers and different custom or not really custom, these are different fixed measurements that are very common out there. This is for measuring the stripe fill areas. This icon here is to measure in all different layers. This one's to measure just overall layers. This one's to do overall as well as individual layers. So these are some custom features for real dark colors that are real close to each other, and ignoring some protrusion areas due to wires. This will put your camera mode in live or paused area. So right now it's in live. You can see me moving it. You can see my finger going underneath it. If you want to save this image, you can do so and email it off. So in this case, I'm going to measure a 3 1-core measurement. So just push that, just type that icon, and it's going to go through and do a measurement. And as you can see, it's measured all these different areas. So we got 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. So those are the features, and you can see by clicking on here, here's the wall max reading. This is the max of all the mins. Here's the min reading. It was highlighted. Let's see here. I'm sorry, there's the min right there. That's the min value. And you can get each one of these wall thicknesses. You can highlight them by holding shift and selecting all of them. You can see all the blue wires. So what this does is it takes a measurement and gives you the min values that are measured within a 60-degree quadrant area. So as you can see, we're looking at thousands and thousands and thousands of measurement points going around the outside and the inner layers of these images. But we're creating a minimum, we're gathering a minimum value here in the 60-degree quadrant, minimum value here in the 60-degree, minimum value there, so on. And it'll actually give you an average of all those minimum values. It'll give you the minimum of those minimum values. And it'll also give you the maximum of the minimum values, which is right there. You also got your inner diameter measurement. You got your outer diameter measurement, and you can see these values over here. And we can set these to be inches, mils, millimeters, etc. So those are all for each layer. So as you can see, we'll go to min layer there, and there's your min layer for your second one. Here's your min thickness layer for your inner right there. So, and if you want to print a report, you can say print. It'll show you a nice report set up. Right now we don't have any tolerance values in there, so otherwise you'd see that, and this would be red. I'll go through one here in just a few minutes, but you can put your own custom label up here of your company. You can put all your art. With print, you can print it real quick. Right now we've got it default to accept to PDF versus the printer. You just select it, whichever one. You can create a location anywhere on the PC or network where you want these saved. So we'll just call this test 2, I guess. So there's your report you can look at anytime. Here's all your values. I'll show another one, tolerance, here in a minute. So you say, okay, you're done there. Now, let's just say I have one that had just something that looks like that. Now that's just one layer, and just take measurement with that. Since it's 1 core, 1 layer, and it'll give you all of these measurement values going around. Now you could look at this as being like, I don't know, 30-some cores, depending on how many cores there are in there, but really do a single core measurement on that, and it'll get you the min values in each 60-degree quadrant area. So and it'll show you all your values here. There's your concentration measurement, all the different options that you can add in there. And then once again, you can print this as well. Give you that view. I'm not going to save this one. But now if you want to go in and change some parameters and create like a custom measurement, we have to go underneath administrator, type in the password. This will give you some more few features. So I would say in this case we're going to go ahead, we'll just create a new part and say new part. Save. And then what we're going to do is we're going to collect that new part. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and move the overall the radial wall, which is the maximum wall thickness around this whole thing. Go ahead and move that down to the bottom. Save. Let's go ahead and select that again. That's down at the bottom. We can test our measurement process here for this custom part. Here's your max wall. So that location is going to be your max wall. Just to show you the difference, this max wall of the thinnest wall. So these are the thin wall, 6 points of the thin walls around the 360 degrees of the part. But that's the maximum of the thin wall. Just want to clarify that. So again, if you want to create a report, we can do so. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can add some tolerances in there. So let's just use this one for an example. Do 0.2. I'm going to go ahead and make it so that it fails to 0.15. Let's just say it's a max wall allowed. And we'll say the average needs to be 0.075. We'll make this one good to 0.078. And we'll go ahead and save it again. So now these tolerances are built into there. So now we can say measure. Do the same style of measurement here. You can see how this one highlighted red because it's out of the spec, but this one's not highlighted red because of it's still in spec. You can also do print this and it'll show up on the report. It'll show up red now as well as the tolerances will be in there. Now these just default to be negative 10,000 for upper and lower spec at this moment. It's getting changed. And then you can see right here, this one's got a tolerance in there, but it's not red because it's actually in spec. So show out of spec on those, and then print, and it'll leave that note of they're out of spec and as well as highlighted. That's if you want to add the other notes. So, and you can do a quick print again, save it. It's a little different than before. That's how you can add different features and stuff like that to a measurement. Now, if you want to get in and change some of the parameters, as far as like inches, millimeters, what have you, go underneath physical unit configurations, and this is where you can change if you go millimeters, mils, inches, basically these parameters. And then if you settings. So if you don't want to have all these icons on the main screen, then this is where you can go to remove some of those. So just uncheck the ones that you don't want. They won't show up on the report. So you just say, I'll say not on the report, but on the main screen. And settings work, that's more custom. So we'll go over here and log out. Now you can see these are all grayed out because I just unselected those. So those are the main features. Basically, most of the stuff is pre-canned for the values that you want to measure. And if you want to do create custom measurements and set them up here, you can do that. Once again, front lighting, back lighting. Make sure this is you're selected on the camera. So you're going to see the on feature. That means you're selected on that camera. So to take a measurement. Alright, so if you want to be able to just save this as an Excel file, you just go to print. Right now, since it's already defaulted to be printing into a PDF, but you can see this is actually an Excel file. So if you want to do print preview, print, and then you can save it as an Excel file as well. Let's see here. Sorry, that's because we only have Microsoft Excel Viewer. Now, if you actually had Excel in there, you'd be able to save this as an Excel file. So since this doesn't have a license of Microsoft on it, you can only save it as PDF. So if you do want to save it as an Excel file into a different folder location, similar to like we do with the PDFs, then you must install Microsoft Excel. Otherwise, it's just going to be a viewer. But if you want to add some other different features to it that are available, we can do many of these. So these are different styles of diameter measurements. This one's, for example, like X and Y measurement. Here's a max of an X and Y measurement. You can see diameter outer measurement, and then this will be the min of that. As well as you can do diameters with the outer bits from different points. And they're pretty self-explanatory as you go through them. Here you can get cross-sectional views and overconsumption calculations. Here's your stripe, your color portion. Here's your overall max wall. So let's just go ahead and just add that. So I'm going to add that one. So that's different than the wall thickness max, because that's the maximum of the thinnest wall measurement. But this is actually going to be the actual maximum value. So and if I want to move that down, I'll just go ahead and move it down. I'm going to move that one all the way to the bottom. And then you can add whatever other variables or concentricities and stuff like that you want, or you can remove any of these. So say I want to, let's just go ahead and remove this one. And then now I'm going to go ahead and save this. So this is being saved under my custom profile